Do the things that matter, the voice of the community, here on Guardian Radio 96.9. It certainly is my life, it's your life. On Thursdays, we focus on living our lives fully, about achievers and living the dream. Well, there's certainly a special guest who is living his dream, CEO and President Lambert Raming. And in the face of living life to the fullest, there are some steps that we cannot neglect. You talked a little bit about them before we went to the break. What would you say are the three most important elements?
And steps? Well, I think you have to always be open-minded and listen. You have to seek out the knowledge, and particularly those who've been ahead of you. Whatever your career choice is, there's somebody who's very successful in it, whether it's local, whether it's international. You have to go and find it.
Sometimes getting to it and isn't the easiest thing. For example, yesterday, my special guest was Dr. Myles Munroe.
Awesome.
And it was an amazing experience.
I'm sure.
It's not as easy to get to a Dr. Munroe today as people listen to you. And there are so many insightful things that you've shared.
Thank you.
And here it is, a successful businessman. A person will say, well, how do I get in contact with him? He doesn't know me. I may not have a last name that is popular in the country.
Well, it's a lot of things. Let me pay my greatest respect to Dr. Myles Munroe. And you can access him. You can access him. He puts so much things in print. But like he said, if you don't like to read, you can access him. People all over the world want to get to him. I can tell you a person who said, you know Myles Munroe? Can you take us by his church? And I've had groups of people and they say, take a picture of me. So I got to tell my hand when they go back. I was at Myles Munroe show at church. And I was like, wow, how much we persons around the world appreciate it. Listen, I just spent a few hours with two young Toastmasters who are going to be going and getting in business with just like an hour before coming here. Okay? You in Club 1600, you have access to myself and persons who are more experienced and more skilled than myself. It's a networking. Club 1600 is an all-males club. It's probably the only one in the world. It was deliberately started here in the Bahamas to build leadership skills, particularly in persons living, black folks living in this country, young men. That was something, you can make a difference. And so when Ed Carey and the other person founding members of Club 1600, and a lot of them, like the late Alfie Maycock, a lot of them, they'd be like a who's who in the Bahamas. I call off some of the names. This club was deliberately started to target young black men who had leadership skills to bring it out. And so, Toastmasters International doesn't go to any different gender or any different race, but when you have an organization, in this case it's Toastmasters, which you can utilize to build leaders, why not utilize it? There are other organizations around the world that for different reasons that you can access.
Now, before, because I'll ask you later, how come you don't provide access to women? Because that's going to be one of the things I'm sure folks want to know. But before then, networking. You talked about how important networking is.
Networking is very important. I can tell you from my international support, because I can tell you, what you see today is a person who's being able to draw for a lot of success from successful people. I've had a gentleman, Julian Ferretti, he's passed now, very good friend of mine, and we've traveled to Japan. How we got to travel to Japan? I went to West Palm Beach after traveling to Japan alone. I came back and said, man, Julian, listen, man, I got a good deal, this, that, and I was so excited. And after I sat down, he was from Switzerland. He spoke 7 languages, one of the most gifted, most brilliant man I've ever met in my life. His daughter still runs his business today. And he sat back, slumped back in the chair, and he said, oh, my friend, they took advantage of you.